Hey everyone, it's the girl Star1, and today I'm gonna be doing my Boy Meets World Season 1, Episode 5 of Boy Meets World, entitled Killer Bees review. And so, yeah, let's just start with the review. So, first thing we see is Corey in class, and Corey, Sean, and Minkus, and all of them in class. Basically, they're they're giving back their geography tests, and so Mr. Feeney says, like, Mr. Feeney's giving out the test with the highest grade, and Corey's like, Minkus, is it Minkus? Minkus, was it Minkus? Minkus, right? And so Mr. Feeney goes, Mr. Minkus, and hands Miss Minkus the test. And then Corey gets his test, and he got a C minus. And basically he's really confused on why he got to C minus, and Mr. Feeney's like like do you pay attention? And he's like, no. And he's like, how do I afford a C? And he's like, why don't you just like do more in this class? And then he starts saying how it's geography and how it's always changing, how and he also argues that the textbook said it was right. And then he starts going on about how in different classes says like it's always the same thing. Like, this is the exact quote. He says, math, 2 plus 2 always 4. Science, the earth always revolves around the sun. Sun. History, Lincoln always gets shot in the head. In which Mr. Feeney replies, Lincoln got off easy. And right after that, it's, oh my god, one of my favorites. Oh boy. Favorite lines. Like, it's one of my favorite lines. Actually, a lot of Mr. Feeney's, a lot of quotes from Boy Meets World are like my favorite. I can't debate the favorite. So, we cut to next scene, and basically there's gonna be a geography tournament, and the winner gets to um, be, I forgot, like, it, 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 sort of like a helper for the Phillies baseball team. And so Corey's like, have you selected Minkus? Minkus, was it Minkus? Minkus, right? And which of course Mr. Feeney does pick Minkus. Though Corey all of a sudden he wants to compete in this geography tournament so he can win the prize. And so he asks Mr. Feeney, though Mr. Feeney just says no. And then next scene we have Eric, and basically his parents ask him to take care of Morgan, and he says no because he's going to an Aerosmith concert, and also his parents are going to the exact same concert, Aerosmith. And Eric's all like, no, you can't go. You can't go to this concert. Please, just pick someone else. This is someone else playing that night. And, yeah. And basically, his parents are like, we've been listening to Aerosmith since before you were born. And then Corey and his friends come home, and they have Minkus over. And so, they bring him up to Corey's room, and Minkus is like, no, call my mother. If I'm not down here by half an hour, call my mother. And so they bring him up to his room, and they say to Minkus, look, drop out of the geography tournament. Tell Mr. Feeney you don't want to do it. And then he's like, why should I do it? And then they said, like, they'll start treating him like better. Like they won't like they'll consider him like him a cool person or something like that. Something beyond those lines. And then he says then so then he agrees to, and then next thing we see, Minkus tells Mr. Feeney that he can't do the geography tournament because he wants to be, and this is how you know, and this is literally kind of like Farkle from Girl Meets World. If you see Girl Meets World, Minkus is like, I don't want to be Stuart Minkus. I want to be Stuart Minkus, regular guy, and that's just, and I'm just like, I just clapped because literally, if you see Girl Meets World, you know that Farkle's like Donnie Barnes, regular guy, in one episode of Girl Meets World. So it's really funny for me. I don't know. It's just funny. I don't know. I love it though. So then Minkus drops out of the tournament though. Corey's like, hey, like why don't I do tournaments? And Mr. Feeney's like, I don't know about that though. Corey's like, if I'm really passionate about it, I think I can win this. Plus, I give it my all whenever I'm really into something and I'm into winning it. So I can win a prize. So then Mr. Feeney's like, are you sure you're ready? And then he says, yep. And then they start doing it. And then, so next thing we see, Corey is basically studying, and his friends are all like, come on, come play with us. And he says, you're starting to change, your teachers are noticing it, basically he's just studying for the tournament. And then Minkus comes, and he's dressed in the most, it's very 90s, let me tell you that, with like the baggy shorts and the baggy shirt. And it's just so funny how Minkus just comes up and it's just dressed like that. With a little cap on backwards and stuff like that. It's just funny. I don't know. No, so Corey's like, I can't go with you guys. I have to really study for this geography tournament. If I'm gonna win this, I have to study for it. So then Mr. Feeney comes and Corey's like, and Corey actually learned something. He learned that Hawaii used to be called the Sandwich Islands, and it was the same guy who invented sandwiches. And Mr. Feeney's basically like, see, you did learn something. And then next thing we see, Corey and his parents and Eric are in the kitchen, and Corey's parents are quizzing him, and then Eric's trying to still talk his parents out of going to the Aerosmith concert. And he says, you know what? We're gonna go. Me and my girlfriend Heather are gonna go to this Aerosmith concert. We're gonna be right there breathing down your necks. Oh my gosh. And so, yeah. Then we cut to the next scene, which is at the geography tournament, and basically Corey just doesn't get any of the questions right. He doesn't know all the answers, and then we find out that he does win the geography tournament. Another girl wins. I think some girl named Nicole or something, I think it is. Not really sure, though someone else wins it instead. And then Corey starts feeling down on himself because he really wanted to win this. And then so we see Eric, Heather, his girlfriend Heather, which I did mention before, though. Yeah. And then Corey and Morgan, they're all in the living room. Corey is on the couch. He feels depressed because he lost the tournament. And then Eric and his girlfriend Heather are basically home early because they had Eric had a miserable time at the concert, though Heather's like saying, "Your parents are cool, Eric," and he's like, "Great, now I'm the kid with the cool parents," and he's just like not happy. And then his parents come home, Alan and Amy. They come home and then Eric complains about how you're my parents are not supposed to have fun. And then he's like, and then he sits on the couch and he now calls it the loser couch. I don't know. It's just Eric. And then Alan makes everyone leave. And Corey's like, "I want to see this." And then Corey does go. And then Morgan also wants to see, though Amy has to bring her to bed. And then Alan says, "When I was your age, I wish I had parents like you have. Cause when I was a kid, I had a father what you wanted." And then he leaves Eric and Heather alone, and yeah. And then towards the end of the oh wait, not the end. I mean, sorry, getting off track. Well, and then we cut to a scene with everyone in class. They get their test results, or cut to class, and then Corey apologizes to Mr. Feeney for losing the tournament, and that he didn't learn something, though Mr. Feeney corrects him, saying he did learn something. He learned the knowledge that, because he got an A on his test. Yeah. And I really like that message because it says, if you study and do what you're supposed to do in school, you will succeed and get good grades. I really like that message. So, and then towards the end of the episode, Corey's watching a baseball game, and the kid comes out with the sign that says "Free France" from something. I don't really remember the sign though. And yep, that was the episode. So overall, my feelings about this episode, not one of my favorites, though I still like it. Pretty good episode, just not one of my favorites that I would go back and watch. Though I still really liked it. It's pretty good. So yeah, let me know what you guys thought of this episode in the comment section below. And yeah, stay tuned for my Andy Mack review, because that'll be fun. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Peace, love, and happiness. Bye, YouTube.